And the news has come out that Chris Jericho has returned home. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Dr. Wagner Jr. and almost.
Almost.
The man who I've always said is almost a wrestler.
What could he have possibly done for the WWE? This is taking one of your top talents. This is the future of your women's division, and you almost ended it. There we go. I'm rusty, man. It's been a few minutes since I've done all these buttons and stuff. Welcome back to the Nation Network. This is the chat. We've shortened it down a little bit because things are changing now. Obviously, as I move away from the whole 2K universe thing, Wrestle Chat, we're still going to be doing a chat. It's not just going to be wrestling only, as you're going to find out here today. Wrestling, obviously, is the anchor of this program and this channel. It's not going to go away completely. So there will be, obviously, Wrestle Chat taking place, but we're going to open it up to other things that are including other sports and just pop culture, things of that nature. We're going to talk about some movie stuff. Yes, we are. And then, of course, we're going to do our prediction show. A lot on tap here for this episode, and we're going to have to move as quickly as possible. So, Legendary's in the house, and welcome aboard. Primetime, always a pleasure to have you here, sir. And we kick things off, unfortunately, with the bad news, the sad news, that Joe Doring passed away and finally succumbed to the brain cancer he has fought valiantly for so many years. He beat it once. A lot of people were hoping he was going to do it again, but it's a tall task to ask, especially when it comes to brain cancer. That is one of the most unforgiving things. I'll say this. I only knew him from his Impact Wrestling work, and he was at the facility I was working at and might be working at again if I'm lucky. But anyway, he was part of the roster at the time they were there. And I will just say this. I've been around wrestlers plenty. I've never stood next to a larger human being in my life. Well, maybe Andre the Giant. I'll take that back. But aside from Andre the Giant, I've never stood next to a guy who was just such a hulking human being. This guy was that Texas strong, that Stan Lariat. And I never stood next to Stan Hansen, so maybe they're about even. I don't know. I can just tell you, Joe Doring was very impressive. You would not be wanting to pick a fight with that man. I don't care what you're trained in. I don't care about none of that stuff. Joe Doring was a beast of a man, and he could move really well in the ring, especially for his size. And at that time when they were there, you had him and Rhino both, and Rhino's another one. If you've never seen him in person, TV doesn't do any justice. He is such a slab of humanity. I mean, he's just, my God, you just look at this guy and think to yourself, don't be mad at me for any reason. There's not much you would do against somebody like that. Oh, Lord. Blaze Radio, otherwise known as my boy McCoy. Good to see you, brother. So, yes, we're making some changes here as we move away from the 2K world and the universe mode and all that stuff. So the chat will be opened up to other sports. Wrestling's still going to be the number one focus, but other sports and other forms of entertainment. Could be music, could be movies. We're going to talk about some movie stuff here in a few. And you know what? We'll jump right into the movie stuff right now, get it out of the way, because I don't want to spend a ton of time on Supergirl. I haven't seen it. I'm waiting for somebody in Turkey to film it in a movie theater and put it on the streaming service. I won't give them any of my money, but I've seen all the reviews for the people that did, because that's what they do for a living, so they kind of have to. And it's every bit as bad as we knew it was going to be. I'm waiting to see it firsthand just to have a chuckle, I suppose, for 2 hours. When in the world is Hollywood ever going to get the memo? We're done with you. Take your woke crap and shove it up your ass. We're not buying it. We're not renting it. We're not giving you anything for it. Okay? You keep on taking the worst possible actresses and putting them into roles that we had adored, and we adored them partly because the people who've always played them fit the character role, and the character role tended to be attractive. Okay, go back to what The Last of Us, what the HBO did. That girl's friggin' homely as hell. But in the video game, she's cute. She's attractive. She's not ugly. Then you got Rachel Zegler, whatever the frig her name is, doing the Snow White thing. She not butt ugly, but she ain't pretty. And she does not fit the role at all. Snow White, she's Spanish. Figure that one out. Weird. And then she went out for about 3 months before the movie comes out, basically bashing everybody and the source material. And then wonders why no one went to see the piece of shit. She went to see it in the theater herself, into an empty theater. Not that she rented the theater. There was nobody there besides her and her family. And she was laughing when the opening credits rolled. My God, if I'm the lead in a major motion picture with $300 million behind it, and I'm sitting in an empty theater, turn the damn camera off. I don't want to, this is not, we don't need this on video. And now you've got this Millie Alcock, whatever her name is. And interesting that her last name would insinuate that she likes men, because she clearly doesn't at all. And she's also butt ugly. The first time I saw her face, I had this image in my head, and I was like, no one else is going to get this reference. It's too old, okay? And then I'm looking on the Twitter machine there, and sure as hell, there's a lot of people posting the same picture I had in my head. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm not as old as I think I am, or there's a lot of other people out there that are as old as I am. Chaka from Land of the Lost, from the old Croft series on Saturday mornings back in the 70s. Land of the Lost had this character called Chaka. And man, oh man, Millie Alcock is a dead ringer. Now, if they did a Land of the Lost reboot, cast her in that role, you got it right. Bravo. Let me see. I haven't tried my buttons here in a while. Let's see if they're working or not. Been having some weird internet situations with my PlayStation 5 only. Not allowing, the IP isn't connecting properly. So I got a new router from the cable company. I'll hook that up and try that out. But, yeah. Kevin's looking forward to the new Jackass movie. I can't say I'm looking forward to it because I was never a big fan of the Jackass movies. I think it was the very first one, though, and it opened up. I didn't watch the TV show at all. I knew of it, and I knew what was happening. It just wasn't my thing. But the movie I ended up watching, I think I got it on DVD or something like that. And I remember the opening segment, if I'm not mistaken, of part one, was where they get a rental car and they put it into a demolition derby and then they return it. I thought that was funny as all hell. I just thought that was hysterical. And from that, I watched the rest of the movie. Some of it was okay. Some was just like, going headfirst into a cesspool and things like that. No, I don't need to see that. Don't want to see that. But, it is what it is. So am I looking forward to Jackass? No. Again, when the Toy Story movie hits the Turkish theaters and they bootleg a copy and upload it, I'll watch that. I'm not going to give Disney any money. I mean, it's just never going to happen again. Heard from a very reliable source, friend of mine, that we used to do podcasts on retro games, and he was big He-Man culture. Said that he likes the He-Man movies, so I'm looking forward to it. He-Man movies are already out, obviously, and I did watch about 10 minutes of it on the Turkish streaming site there, and that's as much as I had. I couldn't give it any more than that. I was never a massive He-Man fan ever at any point in my life. I kind of liked the Dolph Lundgren movie in its day. I don't think I could watch it today, but probably longer than the 20 minutes I was able to give this thing. I could just tell right out the gate, this is not my movie. It's just, no. I'm all about, retro and that kind of stuff and turning back the hands of time and remembering a better time and a better day, but that just, it wasn't sitting well with me. Anyway, Supergirl, no surprise to anyone, drew $7 million on its opening night last night. $7 million. To put that in proportion, they got beat by Toy Story 5 that's already been out for a week. It's on its second week. So, yeah, things not looking good. They predicted, and I said this 3 weeks ago, they were predicting $57 million for the opening weekend for Supergirl. I said they won't make 40. And now it's starting to look like they might not make 35. They have to make $300 million just to break even. There's no way in hell this movie's going to make $300 million. So this is going to mark, if I'm not mistaken, either 4 in a row or 4 out of 5 major Disney releases that are going to lose over $100 million. Let that sink in for a minute. 100 minimum. Some of them have lost much more than that. Grogu lost 200. No, sorry, Snow White lost 300 million. Grogu to date has lost about 175, I think was the last I heard, maybe closer to 200 million. I mean, these movies are just bombing at the box office. And they have a commonality. You're putting crappy people in the roles. You're putting ugly people in roles that were normally filled by attractive people. They're not that good an actor or actress that they can pull it off, so there's no upside to it. And then you put your woke agenda bullshit in there, just for fun. Millie Alcock came out a few weeks ago saying, hey, this is not for Christian dads. Well, by the way, according to every review I've seen, read, or listened to, it's not for children, period. This is not, don't bring your 12-year-old to this movie. Do your homework. Unless you're ready to start talking about drugs and alcohol and all that kind of stuff, which maybe by 12 you got to do that nowadays, I guess. It is not a Superman, Supergirl movie. It's no Helen Slater, let's put it that way. I always wonder what that movie could have done if they had an actual budget. They spent all that money on Faye Dunaway, and it's like, for what, man? She was washed up then. Yeah, I mean, if you're big into He-Man and back in the day, then you might like it. I don't know. Did you like Dolph Lundgren's version of it? Because I can tell you, just from watching 10 to 15 minutes of it, it ain't the same. They're going, I guess, for more of a humor thing. I don't know. Again, it's not made for me. I couldn't give it a fair, and I can only give it my opinion, and my opinion isn't good on this thing. All right, let's move it along here because we got stuff to do here. Like I said, we're going to be switching topics up a little bit, and I think the only way I can do this properly is going to be just to, let's see, do I want to go to Twitter? We'll start with this. All right. I'm not a massive soccer fan, like a lot of people out there aren't in America, but when the World Cup rolls around, then we tend to at least watch what the American teams are doing. I have not watched any of the women's stuff at all because I turned them off after the last event where you had Megan Rapinoe, she is a hoe, whatever you want to call that dyke, talking all that shit about America while she's wearing our colors. So I'm done with the women's game. I won't watch it. I feel bad. There's a lot of true American girls on the team. I feel for you, but y'all are in sports that are just unsupportable, and we're going to talk about that in a minute too, so don't go away. All right. The good news is we're hosting the World Cup this year, and a lot of you probably already seen these, and if you haven't, get comfortable because as much negativity is online, which is pretty much all of it nowadays, it is hard for me to get on Twitter anymore. It's like I literally go there to see if there's any messages, and I try not to hit the scroll. Because it is all just people being ghetto and it's just horrible. It's just horrible content, and it's not even healthy to be watching it. But over the last week, that has totally changed. All these Europeans, especially young ones, have been flooding the United States to be part of the World Cup in the states that are hosting games. And holy cow, they are posting videos left and right about how great America is. And for the rest of you that might be listening that are in their age bracket that want to talk any shit about living in this country, shut up and go move to their country for a year or two. Then come back. Maybe you'll see things a little differently.
The World Cup in America is doing something that nobody expected. I cannot imagine another moment in my life where I would be living in Boston, supporting England, at a pub that's normally my local pub, that is absolutely invaded by the Tartan army, partying with them while England play, having a laugh, having banter with them, being literally the only English fans in there, partying with what I can only describe as one of the best fan bases I've ever been around in my life. This is a moment in time that I will never, ever forget. For the first time in a very, very long time, our For You pages are filled with joy, World Cup magic, and all of the hateful, negative, media-spun, evil rubbish is being drowned out by the people that are creating our own media. We are creating our own story. Nobody can twist that.
Amen to that. We are the people, we are the media now.
Number one.
There's so much of this. There's so much of this. The first one I had seen, let me see if I can find them. I know they're in this. And they're all talking about our food. They are loving American food. They are amazed at the quantity and the like when you go to a restaurant, the amount that you're being served. They are baffled. Free refills on drinks. They had no idea that existed. And to a man and to a woman, they all seem to say the exact same thing. We were lied to about your country. Our country's news kept telling us how evil, how vicious, how violent you are. And I've had nothing but the best of experiences in this country. And here is this couple right here from England. I've been following them specifically for the last week now because they've done some really, really good traveling. They're not just here for the World Cup. They're here for the United States. They've rented an RV. They're driving. They've already done 20 states. That's about 18 more than I've done or 17 more than I've done. And they made it clear, we are moving to America. They ended up finding a puppy, adopting it, taking it back to England with them. But they're like, we are 100% cut. And this guy you're about to see in a minute, who should be in a WWE ring, by the way, he had a great quote, not in this particular clip, but one of his other videos, had a great quote. He says, when I'm in England, I feel like I'm living in a box. I'm in a cage. This is freedom. Look at these mountains. Look at because again, they're traveling everywhere and they're seeing the best of the best. And yeah, I mean, if you went to downtown Detroit, you might have a little bit different opinion of us, but don't go to downtown Detroit. They actually enjoyed Chicago. They went to the city. Now, they did do it early in the morning, so that might have had something to do with it. And I'm like, okay, well, you got away. Keep going.
Completely safe. I mean, like I said, there's women everywhere walking completely alone. There is people walking everywhere. There are women walking alone with fancy handbags, jewelry.
The fact that sounds unbelievable, because in the UK, you can't do it. It's not safe. You can't do it in New York either, for that matter. But just the fact that he's finding this unbelievable.
On glasses, on they're not being harassed, nothing. Then right here, you've got a park, clean and tight.
Wow, South Africa sounds absolutely horrible if you can't do that there.
You cannot tell me that America isn't one of the most, or if not the most beautiful country in the whole world.
It is the most beautiful country in the world, full stop. I do not care for your opinion because this is our opinion and our opinion is right.
We are currently on the Blue Ridge Parkway and look at these views that we are having right now.
No, wait. Just be prepared to get goosebumps. Unreal.
Look at this.
That is an absolute madness. It's called America the Beautiful for a reason, guys. Look at that.
That is insane. I can see. We were literally just down there a few minutes ago. And now we're up here with our Cruise America RV.
Enjoying these beautiful views.
With the beautiful sun.
So many beautiful places in America.
I'm telling you what, y'all need to wake up and start appreciating what you got. And you better start fighting to keep it, because if you let the Mom Donnies of the world get a foothold in, it's going to be a whole lot different world when we take it back, because we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, if you know what I mean. All right, there's that. Let's jump on over to by far. Look, AI has its place in the world, and I use it to a certain degree because there's stuff that I want to create that I can't create without it right now. This is by far probably the best use of AI I've ever seen, period. And if you haven't seen this one, get ready. It's fun.
Show some respect, you people. You're talking to the best governor in history. Fourth biggest economy in the world. Oh, my goodness. We thought he was out injured. The crowd is losing their minds, and look at the governor's face. No way. Quit your crying. I'm just like you. I got 960 SAT scores. Frankly, I think we are nothing alike. I don't need illegals to vote by mail to win an election.
Kidding me?
Acknowledge me! Oh, what a slap! He's rocked! Chair shot! Right to the skull, he's down! Thrown over, it's over the top! He's crashed through the announcer's table! Absolute carnage! I'm the boss! Now Harris comes into the ring to confront the commander-in-chief! She takes a super kick to the face, and she's out cold! Completely out of it! Here comes Jeffries running down the ramp! This is Jim Crow 2.0! He slammed that Timu Obama! Voter suppression!
He slammed that Timu Obama. Oh, my goodness. Are we still on the air, folks? Because apparently there was some sort of a hiccup in the internet again. I don't know what the hell's been going on around here. We don't even have bad weather yet. That doesn't kick off till later in the afternoon. But somebody say something in the chat. Let me know that we're still on. I guess I can pull it up on my phone at the same time just to make sure. Don't want to get too far in the weeds if we got dumped. But that was, I honestly believe, like the best use of AI without question. And I can tell you that had to take a minute to get that all together and have that working. My phone. Okay, we're still on. All right, what else do we have here, Johnny? We'll leave that for something else. Yeah, I got to tell you, I like this one a lot, too. This guy was threatening the pastor, saying that he when you go out of town, I'm going to do the R word to your grandchildren and kill your wife and all this. This pastor went over there and beat the ever-living piss out of this dude. And to me, that's just a story with a happy ending. You know what? It's Miz. So they're doing house shows in England. They don't do them in America that much, but they're doing them in England. And Miz and Danhausen are doing their shtick right there. And you got Frank and Miz. How many of you guys think Frank and Miz is going to be part of like either season 5 or season 6? And now they're making fun of Cassidy, which I thought this was hilarious. That's about how ridiculous it looks like. Gotta say one thing. Here we go again. With Danhausen, he's not a good wrestler. He really isn't. I saw the full match, and yeah, he's just not a very good wrestler. He's a great personality, but he doesn't need to be in the ring. All right, we're going to move into my new favorite subject right now, and if you're not aware of this, I kind of feel like you're living under a rock at this point, even if you're not a fan of the WNBA. I used to be until the last 2 years, and now this will make 3. I coached girls basketball for a number of years, so I've got a connection in that aspect of it. And I always felt like the women's game was more pure. They were more sportsmanlike. Well, that's all gone. That's all gone. Ever since the introduction of the letters CC, Caitlin Clark, in case you've been living under a rock, is the greatest basketball player on the earth today for my money. Okay, pound for pound. I mean, is she going to go head-to-head with Steph Curry? No. But what she does, what she draws in ratings, what she does in merchandise, the fact that for the first time in the history of the WNBA, she's brought in enough money by selling out stadiums that they can have chartered planes. They never had that before. They've always churned a loss. They've never had a profit. And what do you do when you have that level of talent now in your midst? Well, you beat the shit out of her and get her off the court. Why? Well, she's white and she's a heterosexual. Can't have that as the face of our company. And the WNBA has allowed it. But what happened recently has now put it into a national spotlight that they can't ignore any longer. But I want you, if you haven't seen any of this stuff, I want you to watch it, but in your mind, flip the script. Imagine Caitlin's the one doing it, and I think it's Aisha, is the one receiving. Change the color scheme, and then tell me how much this would be in the front page news. This right here is the greatest human being on earth as far as I'm concerned. Sophie Cunningham is the teammate of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, again, greatest basketball player today, period. By the time her career is over, if she's able to have one, I think she's going to set the standards all over. She's going to be in the conversation with the Jordans if she stays healthy. Sophie is her girl. She's got her back, and boy, oh boy, what a warrior this girl is. She's a 6th degree black belt jiu-jitsu, so she knows what the fuck she's doing. And any of these bitches want to mess with her, she begs them to come on. And this is something that just recently happened after getting into a situation where Caitlin got knocked around again, and Sophie got in the girl's face that did it. And this girl, being, big and all that, thought she was going to scare or intimidate Sophie. And as you can see, Sophie's like, no. I see you, because the girl was pointing at her. And she's just pointing right back at her. Look at her. It's friggin' hilarious. And this meme has already been adopted in so many different ways. And it's all classic stuff. So back to the WNBA and why it's the most racist league, period. It's not even of all. It's just period. There's nothing to compare it to. They put out the WNBA celebrating their 30-year anniversary. The fact that you've made it 30 years is a miracle, because you've never turned a profit ever. And here you are on the brink of doing that, and what do? You beat the shit out of the person. You're not just, here's the golden goose. Fuck that golden goose. Cut its head off. And that's what's happening. So here's the 30-year poster. And who do we see on it? Who's that in the bottom corner over there? The bottom right corner with the Atlanta jersey on. Oh, that's the girl who come out there telling everybody, hey, I just want you to know they ain't watching for one person. They're watching for me, too, and I want you to know that. Nobody's watching for you, Miss Reese. We watch you because you're funny. And if you haven't seen, this girl is a guy who puts out videos of her every time she has a game. Angel Reese Parton. I think we're up to 17 now. He calls her a baby giraffe because that's how she works. She moves around like a baby giraffe. She's uncoordinated. She's a joke. She's an absolute joke. They keep on bragging about her. She's got the most rebounds of anyone in this facet. They're not rebounds. They're me-bounds. She keeps missing her bunny shots over and over and over again, but she gets her own rebounds and puts them up. So she's being rewarded for having a less than 19% shooting percentage from 3 steps away from the basket as a center. And she's being touted as this great thing. Meantime, Caitlin Clark's over here averaging 25 to 35 a game, hitting logo threes all night long, winning games on them. And she wasn't invited to the Olympic team. She's always an after, and she's not on the poster. She's not on the poster. You're putting out a 30-year anniversary poster without Michael Jordan, is what you're saying. If you've never met her, this is Caitlin Clark. And, yeah, at some point in time, she is what an unbelievable young lady, because she has taken all this shit. And I tell you right now, I don't know anyone. And, again, I coached girls for 11 years, And I can promise you, especially in those high school years and college years, not one of them, they were all good Christian girls, not one of them would have put up with the shit she's been putting up with without throwing an elbow to the teeth by now. They would have just said, fuck it, I'm going to get suspended. I don't care. And they would have just backhanded one of these bitches right in their faces. And that's got to happen. It has to happen. Now, we talked about Supergirl. Let me tell you something. If you'd have put her in the movie...
You got to be tough to play in the WNBA when you're a target. The thing is, there is no kryptonite in this league for me. I am Supergirl. You got to be tough to play in the WNBA.
If they'd have put her in that role, that movie would have made money. Because she's loved. Here we go. Well, all right, this is a meme, but this...
Help, I can't breathe, let go of me! I'm getting my reparations. Please, I'm just trying to play basketball.
This is my game. Haven't you people stolen enough from us?
She deserved it.
Yeah, she shouldn't be playing basketball to begin with.
Yeah, haven't they stolen enough from us already?
Alyssa is the real victim because Caitlyn shouldn't even be playing basketball. White people playing basketball is racist.
It's a meme, but it's 100% what's happening. And anyone watching knows that that's exactly what's happening. All right, I told you the memes are going around, buddy. It says me pointing out the Haitians to ICE. Back to Sophie again. This is just a little clip of her being her. And my goodness, I just love this girl so much. I wish I could have coached her. Referees, get out of the circle. Doop. Cop thinks she's going to tell her to get back. I'm on my half of the court, bitch. Fuck off. Look how they're shoving her around. I wish they would have had the clip in this one, which they don't, where she took care of this other girl last year that took a run at Caitlyn. She horse-collared that girl and threw her down to the friggin' floor. The confidence that comes from knowing you can kick the shit out of... Look at this. The confidence that comes from knowing that you can kick the shit out of the other people. There it is. It was in this clip. That girl had taken a run at Caitlin Clark earlier that night. She's so friggin' funny. Cracks me up. Once again, Joe Doring, what can be said? Again, for a big man, did a really good job. Really good job. Oh, the Supergirl fan base is out watching the movie.
Go.
By the way, this is not a meme. This is legit.
Go.
Hi, Jordan here with Rookie Dad. Today I am seeing Supergirl, the fan event at Imagine Theaters in Monticello. My second home away from home. But I would like to take a second to show you the merchandise that they have. A logo bucket.
What the actual fuck is that?
A silhouette bucket. There is yellow and red.
Oh, his voice dropped down there for a minute.
Taste.
There is yellow and red.
But anyway, hope you have a good day. Take care of yourselves.
Hope you have a good day. In the meantime, oh, sorry, my balls just dropped. Again, Caitlin Clark, let's talk about it. 2022, attendance was averaging 5,600 fans. Average salary was $110,000. I mean, to play a game for 3 months of the year, not bad. But, you know, when you're talking about pro sports, that's not even a blip. 2024, Caitlin Clark is drafted. 2026, the attendance is now at 11,000 when she's playing. So if she's not in Atlanta, then expect to see about 4,000 to 5,000. But then when she's going to come, we have to get a bigger arena because we need to have 11,000. And now, because of her, because of the extra eyeballs, because of the extra TV ratings and the advertising dollars that come with all that. Now they're up to $583,000 and chartered aircraft. They're no longer flying coach on Spirit. What do you do with that? You kill the golden goose because she's white. She's white and she doesn't eat pussy. That's all there is to it. Her head coach, if I was her, I'd have punched that coach in the face by now. I cannot stand Stephanie White. I've got zero respect for her. I would never go to a live game because I don't know that I'd control myself enough not to get on the court and either take out one of the referees or Stephanie White. I'm not sure which one I would go after. But somebody needs to make an example of these people. Stephanie White has sabotaged this girl's career all season long, pulling her off the court when she should be on the court. It's been embarrassingly bad. All right, where are we at here? Yeah, so you can look at the stadium. Full house, crickets. And that's the way it's been. We used to have a team here in Orlando back in the beginning of the WNBA. And that's about what it drew. This is about as accurate as it's going to ever get.
So when a player makes illegal contact, it's called a personal foul, which means this would be. So that would, yeah, that's a personal foul. No, there is no foul. You know, it's because that's why. But when a player makes unnecessary illegal contact, then it's called a flagrant one foul, which means this would be. Let's see, that's unnecessary. Yep, that's a flagrant one foul. No. Why would you think? The player made normal illegal contact, which means it's just a personal foul. See what I mean? The player was just trying to get into a defensive position and accidentally made contact with the other player.
This is exactly how they're calling her games. There's no foul calls on these. That's why he's saying this. In case you, again, most of you probably aren't watching. But this is what's happening. This is the travesty that is occurring in officiating. Danny Davis was a better referee in wrestling.
That's why. But when the illegal contact is unnecessary and excessive, then that would be a flagrant two foul, which means this would be. So that's unnecessary.
Okay, this is the big one from this past week. This girl, all she ever does is hurt people. That's her job. Somebody somewhere thought that basketball was hockey. Hockey's always had goons on their team. Their only job was to inflict punishment on other teams if you went after their star player. Basketball doesn't have that, generally speaking, and you definitely didn't have it in women's basketball. But this bitch, for years, has been doing some serious damage to women. Here she's got her fist in her throat. And she got no call with the referee watching it. What color was the referee? Oh, yeah, I remember now, black. And watching this happen, no call. Because it finally got to this level, because it finally got to the national media, because Fox was covering it, even CNN was covering it, ABC, ESPN, and now because guys like Steph Curry and Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jordan are coming out saying this is bullshit, it needs to stop. Now the league has no choice but to pay some attention to it, and she got a whole one-game suspension. Caitlin Clark is too good to do it, but she should just call the police and file a report. That is not covered under the auspice of playing a basketball game, even at the pro level. There is precedent set in the court system. NHL players specifically have been performing in NHL games and did egregious acts that caused injury to others and were arrested, brought to court, and even served jail time. Justifiably so. There's no room in sports for this ghetto bullshit. She needs to be out of the fucking league.
And excessive. That would be a flagrant two foul. No. Flagrant one foul? No. Why would you think? You telling me that's just a personal foul? No. Why would you think? There is no foul. You know, it's because that's why.
Something's got to change. So this is AI also, but it's really accurate.
Is racism. It started with Caitlin Clark, and now it's me. Y'all see it. When white players start hooping at a high level, suddenly we're cocky, deserve to get hit, or we're too emotional. But let's be real, they just don't like seeing white girls dominating their
Look
game.
at that shove.
I've been elbowed, shoved, even had players whisper threats during plays. And for what? Because I play hard, because I won't back down? That's not just physical, that's targeted. That's hate. And I'm not staying quiet about it anymore. If I get hit dirty, I'm swinging back. Period. I did it before, and I'll do it again. I'm not here to play victim, I'm here to compete. But I'll never let anyone punk me just because of the color of my skin. If you think I'm supposed to just take it and smile, you picked the wrong one. And Caitlin, she's been through the same BS. We see the pattern, and the league better start seeing it too. If you don't stand for fairness now, when will you?
Again, change the color. That fist in the throat. Imagine it was Sophie Cunningham doing it to a black girl. I guarantee you she'd be out for the season, without question. Back to wrestling. I have enjoyed Evolve Wrestling. I watched a couple of episodes originally from back in their early existence. They're only 2 seasons in now. And only to see Kendall Gray because of all the buzz she's been getting, and now she's moving up into the NXT ranks and all that. And I said, well, let me go check this girl out. And real good. Really good in-ring performer. Very impressed with her. I like her style. Look is good. She's the right thing, man. She's the package. And then I started watching a couple of the other matches, figuring I'm not going to like this too much, but and they were good. They're good matches. They're having good matches. They're a little bit rushed because of TV time limit, but that all said, they're getting the characters over. And now I'm way back in time. I just now got into 2026, so there's a little bit more for me to catch up to get up to date. But I'm already realizing that some of the people I've really been enjoying in Evolve are already in NXT. I just haven't been watching NXT at all for so long, I wouldn't know. Well, this guy apparently has made it to NXT. And his name's Aaron. I don't know if it's his last name is Aaron, first name is Aaron. Doesn't matter. Look, I don't care if you're gay, straight, whatever the deal is. But this guy comes out there. Oh, I just want everybody to know that you did that. Which, again, that's your shtick. Do that, okay? I had no problem with Sonny Kiss because Sonny Kiss didn't act that way. And he was openly gay. I mean, he dressed, the way he dressed and all that. But he wrestled men's division and all that kind of stuff. This guy is so soft. There's no way he's a believable champion. But guess who's got the Evolve Heavyweight Championship, at least as I am now watching? They put it on this guy. Now, the average person isn't watching Evolve, so I guess from that standpoint, but this guy's made it to the NXT. WWE. As if you don't have enough problems already. Which, checking the count, you do. We are sick and tired of this bullshit. Team Pride? Are you fucking kidding me? The one thing you guys had done right is you didn't allow this crossover bullshit. If you're allowing this, I don't know where this picture was taken from, if it was Evolve or if it was more recently, but enough is enough, man, because I'll tell you right now, I will be switching that channel off the second I see him on NXT. Val Venus is not a fan. This Pride crap will cost WWE a lot in revenue if they decide to start catering to that crowd. Pride. First off, there is no crowd. If there was, these movies wouldn't be losing hundreds of millions of dollars. There's a small little 1% that you are catering to, and you are turning off the 90% in the meantime. And I'm allowing 8 or 9% of people that just don't know what they're doing. But he's 100% right. You can have him on a roster, you can have him wrestling, but you can't be pushing him. No way. First off, he's not believable. He's a dandelion, and he's supposed to be a heavyweight champion. Come on. Stop it. The WNBA's problem is white heterosexual is the star of their black lesbian league. Period. I mean, everyone sees it. Everyone knows it. Why are we not calling it out for what it is? By the way, this is classic. That gator thought it had a good meal ahead of it and watched the power of a hippo. I didn't know a hippo could do this. Split his head in half. I mean, the skull of a crocodile, holy smokes. Just split it in half. Oh, my God. All right, back to more basketball.
Come on, stop.
Yo. Or should I say ghetto ball? So this guy's not having his way. He can't get a win without cheating. So they call him the travel. He don't like it. Look at the shoving. Look at all this going on. Now he don't like that neither. What is this bullshit? It's the same damn thing all over again.
Keep him on your feet. Come on, play.
It is the exact same thing that's happening in the WNBA. We can't have white people playing this game. You know, I grew up watching and playing hockey. For 22 years, I played hockey. And I still watch it. And I remember back in the 70s and the 80s, there weren't any black players. When Edmonton got a goalie by the name of Grant Fuhr, look at this. Look at this.
You jumped over me. You jumped over me.
Look at this.
Why the fuck you punching me? Your back hurts. Your back. You can talk shit when you win. You haven't won one game.
Come outside.
You had a lollipop? You had a lollipop? Right. You had a blue tongue talking to me like that.
This is ridiculous. Grant Fuhr came into the league. I don't know that Grant Fuhr was black, but he was the closest thing we'd ever seen. And we didn't rise up and say, hey, this is our sport, and isn't it? And now there's plenty of black people playing hockey. Fine. If you're good enough, play. If you're on my team and you can win us a game, then I want you. I don't care if you're black, white, green, blue, or whatever. Islanders need the help wherever they can get it. But this whole friggin' league, and now even outside the league, this is our game. No. Doesn't work that way. This guy who's a foot shorter than you make you look stupid and you don't like it. But rather than just be a sportsman about it and accept it and say good game, you got to be a hood rat. Angel Reese, I was telling you about these videos. Here's the most recent one, and it is classic.
Angel Reese, Part 17. That girl needs some protein. Let's get it!
Because she's skinny like a giraffe.
Fastest player in league history to
Miss.
record 1,000 rebounds. Turns
Miss.
out bricking shots
Miss.
is a great stat padding strategy. Just
Miss.
like that. Me bound. Bang! She missed her first 8 shots of the game, all pretty much from point blank range.
I'm open. You're open because nobody has to cover you. You can't make a basket.
What did I do?
Oh, they're watching for me, too. I just want you to understand that. Nobody's watching for you, bitch.
Gotten her shot blocked 41 times so far. The next closest has 24. Bang. Give me the ball. Me back down. Me hook. Me cry. Me bang. It's got the same appeal as a car crash. Nobody wants to see it, but yet we can't look away. Bang. We got no room in the league for this blindsided attack. Get her out of here. Officer.
Oh, she can't believe it's a foul. And she thinks anyone's watching for her. I watch these clips because they're hilarious, and this guy's play-by-play is spot on. And he has come up with so many different aspects of terms like me bounds. He created that. And then she tried to market it. She tried to copyright it for herself. She wanted it on T-shirts. And it's like, do you not understand? They're pointing out the fact that you're a joke. Your rebound stats aren't real. Your stats are there because you keep on missing shots. Not because you're a good player, because if they ever shot you for being a good player, they're shooting an innocent person. All right. Now that gets us to where we were going to be, which is the wrestling aspect of things, and we're going to start our prediction portions. Let me check on the comments real quick here. Maverick says there has to be a tax write-offs for constant flops. You would think so, wouldn't you? I don't know how some of these movies are getting green light. Well, there are tax write-offs. You're 100% right about that. When you lose money in any corporation, and you can do it for a number of years. I think it's 5 years. But Disney's also self-insured and things like that. So at the end of the day, they're just going to eat it. But by saying they're going to eat it, they're a publicly traded company. So all the investors are the ones that are going to eat it, and that's why the stocks are in the fucking toilet. First two Christopher Reeve movies were good. I agree, they were very good. And if you haven't seen Superman 2, the director's cut, I highly suggest you do because it's much better than the original Superman 2. Much better. All right, let me go here. Let me go here. Close those out. And refresh this. And then we're going to jump into the prediction pool. So this afternoon, I do like the fact that they're going to be in Europe. What the hell? Wasn't that already there? I guess not. Hold that thought a minute. Oopsie. I guess it was open. Why didn't it? Oh, there it is. So why is it not showing up? Strange. Okay. Anyway, when they go to Europe, it's nice because even though I don't really watch, I have not watched Raw or SmackDown in at least 3 weeks. I did see a couple of things come across my feed. So I know that Lyra Valkyria turned on Bayley because that's all the WWE writing team knows how to do. That's going to be a horrible mess that does nothing for either girl. Is what it is at this point. There's no originality in the writing team as it exists in the WWE. And God knows that ship sailed a longer time ago in AEW. And TNA has just got awful right now. Got rid of Tommy Dreamer. I can't even keep up with the list anymore of the talent that's walked out the door. Steve Macklin's gone. What else we got? There's at least 2 or 3 other names. And Mike Santana's leaving, which I'm okay with that because I just never saw the draw on him. And according to ratings, nobody else does either. So there's not much to be watching right now other than Evolve I'm liking and AAA, and I've watched some MLW. So right now that's but Evolve has been the one that I've really, really enjoyed. But as I'm realizing a lot of these people have been called up, I just haven't caught up to it yet. I don't know if I'll still be enjoying it once I get caught up to today because a lot of the things I've liked the most, the Vanity Project, love the Vanity Project. And I know the goal of Evolve is to kick them up the card and all that. So, yes, of course, they're not supposed to be there for long. And that's why that show maybe is good because talent doesn't get stale. You know, they move along and they get pushed up. Today's lineup is going to be Trick Williams against Ricky Santana for the U.S. title. We've got Tiffany going up against Jade for the U.S. title for the women. Seth and Braun in a steel cage. Liv and Io to settle up who is the Queen of the Ring. I really miss when King and Queen of the Ring was a one-day tournament. I don't know if the Queen of the Ring ever was, to be honest with you, but I know the men's was. And I wish they would do a one-day tournament again. And then we've got Oba, Femi, and Jay for the men's King of the Ring. And, yeah, we'll get into all this as we go through. And now we're going to run our somewhat favorite pastime, which is 2K unfiltered. I'm not doing any filtering on this one. And we will just see what their predictions look like here and how much of this turns out to be accurate tonight.
The following contest is scheduled for
one fall.
It is for the WWE Women's United States Championship.
Okay! Game on!
Oh, that fun. right, let me get the poll going here, and you guys can vote on who you think is going to win. All right, I am going to go ahead and say I think Tiffany's going to retain. I hope she retains. She needs to retain because her title reigns haven't been as good as they should be. Either it's a lot of time without defending the title, or she loses the belt and then chases it back down again. She needs to beat 2 or 3 people in a row. And I also just don't think Jade's been better, I'll say that. She's been better lately than we've seen her in a long time. She's had maybe 2 matches in a row that weren't terrible. And I'm giving her credit for finishing a match with one hand because she had that other hand having to hold her wig on. Now, I don't know what went into all that wig stuff. In my world, at that point, I was like, just take the fucking thing off and finish the match. I mean, you ain't fooling nobody with that hair. Ain't nobody believe that's your real hair, girl. But it may have been weaved in where that's not an option. I don't know how that works. Apparently, they didn't weave it enough. I gotta believe, though, if you're Jade Cargill, going out in public has to be a little bit easier than for a lot of these other folks. Because once you go back to your regular hair, I don't know that many people, I mean, unless you're wearing a very revealing outfit where you had that body showing, which that's going to draw attention. But I think if she was wearing just like a business suit or something like that, I think the average person would walk right by her and not know it's her.
Introducing the challenger from Vero Beach, Florida, Jade Cargill. And her opponent from Prior Lake, Minnesota, the WWE Women's United States Champion, Tiffany Stratton.
Here we go.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Jade going for a quick win. Ooh, this is an Angel Reese Part 18. I didn't know that. Look at Tiffany using the ropes. Got both of them wearing red here tonight. I wouldn't mind seeing them actually have a little bit of an actual wrestling match. That would be nice. Probably be in Jade's best interest as well to slow it down. Head first into the buckle we go. By the way, a reminder, on July 3rd, we will have the last ever Great American Bash right here. I had somebody leave a comment earlier, and I think somebody might have misunderstood something. I had posted a thumbnail to remind everybody about July 3rd, and the reply was basically, and he's already back. No, no, no. I always said July 3rd was going to be the last show. The Saturday night main event one was a surprise. I wasn't even planning on doing it. I just had enough people asking about it, and if I was going to do something to wrap up WWF, since I was doing one for the NWA, and I thought about it, and I said, hey, what the hell, we'll do one. So that was like a bonus thing I wasn't even planning on doing, but July 3rd was always the day that I was doing the last stream. Referee gets caught in the crossfire. Look out. By the way, this whole show, not a tag team match to be had. That says a little something about the tag team division to me. They do have 6 matches, though, which has got to be really bothering Bruce Pritchett. The guy who believes that we should only have 4 matches on a PLE event. Here's the roll-up. Shoulders are down, and a count on 1. We're at a 50-50 on the vote. Backslide. This is actually a decent match. I wonder if the real one could even come close. Uh-oh. Jaded! It might not be Tiffy time anymore. Well, according to 2K, I'm wrong. We'll see. Not kicking out of the finisher, no less. That never happens. Well, here on the Nation, 67% are saying it's not going to be Jade Cargill, but one of us is right, one of us is wrong. Is it 2K or is it the majority of the nation?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE United States Championship.
This is the revolution.
Sounds like Wade Barrett. All right, the poll is up. Who do you like? Will it be Ricky Starks or Tricky Williams? I gotta be honest, again, I don't watch the product, so I can't say with any level of exact. But is it just me, or are they not really doing a good job of promoting Ricky Starks and making him that guy? I, for one, thought that by now they would have already had him in a different position than he's in. And I feel like he's kind of in that Grayson Waller place. And you don't want to be there for very long, I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, I don't see any world where Trick Williams is not the winner of this match. But if you want to shock the world, that would do it. I can see him. To me, I look at Trick Williams today and I remember a young Roman Reigns. I'm really not into him yet. But I could see that a year or two from now, I might have a totally different opinion on that, like I do with Roman. I think the thing that'll get him or get me into him is hiring some writers that can actually make a bloodline level story that I can invest in. But that whole lemon pepper stepper thing, that's only going to go so far. He's got a good look. He's good on a mic. You got to give him something.
Introducing the challenger from New Orleans, Louisiana, weighing in at 194 pounds, Ricky Starks.
Yeah, I still remember Ricky when he was in the NWA with Billy Corgan's Wrestling right before COVID back in 2019. And I said it back then. I said, this guy's got a lot of potential.
250 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, Trick Williams.
Hand it over, big man. Let's go. She's a cute girl. What's her D'Amico or something like that her last name is. I'm not sure that's her name. That might be the one they gave her. I don't even. Do the referees get to keep their names, or do they get gig names as well? Look at Ricky trying to make up for the size differential with a cheap shot. Oh! Clotheslines him right over the top rope out to the floor. That's going to leave a mark. Tomorrow afternoon, probably somewhere near the 1 o'clock time frame, we'll do this again and we can compare notes and see how the EA predictions were versus the outcome of the matches. I am definitely taking Trick Williams if I wasn't clear about that. Got that knee right in the back of his neck. Putting that lion tamer to use. Oh, damn, look at him. Hammering away. Stomping away. Oh, and there's some payback. Clothesline sends him all the way over the top down to the floor. Referee going to try and get them back in the ring here if she can, and that didn't take long at all. You can stop now, dear. They're in the ring. Ricky Saint over here. Happy with himself, but we'll see how long that holds up. Trick Williams comes up with that high clothesline, but Ricky sidesteps it. Thus far, not exactly a match of the year contender. Ricky Saints gets that running start and comes up with the elbow. Ooh, walks into a big boot. Miracle, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Make sure you cast your vote. Who do you think is going to win this match today? Normally I'd say tonight, but it's not tonight, it's today. Not too far away from now. And, ooh, into the steel steps he goes. Trick Williams has Ricky Saint up and drops him head first into the guardrail. Fans are getting their money's worth in the front row. Well, I don't know about their money's worth. It's got to be like $800 a ticket. Whatever that converts to in British pounds, I have no idea. The other good thing about having these shows over in England and things like that, 1 o'clock start time, and the crowd is usually white hot. For those of you just joining us here, we have changed Wrestle Chat around because I'm not going to be doing this 2K stuff and Universe Mode stuff anymore. And while wrestling is still the predominant subject matter that we cover here on this channel, we are expanding chat to, instead of Wrestle Chat, it is simply the chat, because we'll be including things like pop culture. We talked earlier tonight about the Supergirl movie and the mega flop it's already showing to be. We talked about the WNBA and the horrible things that have been happening to Caitlin Clark. Checked out some memes as Ricky got busted open. Oh, he went for the big pump kick and nobody was home. And now Ricky Saint plants him face first. No sells it like a champ. I was watching a shoot interview with Kevin Nash talking about his match with Goldberg, and there was a moment where he had Goldberg in his arm bar that was supposed to be really painful and all that, and Goldberg immediately steps out of it, and the term he used, he said, "I'm over here trying to get this match to work, right?" And I put him in his arm bar, and he pulls his arm out of there like it was in lava. And I'm like, "Thanks, pal. You're killing me." No selling is real with some of these people. Inverted atomic, or beg your pardon, inverted DDT, dropping him on the back of the head, and a bloody Ricky looking to see if he can turn this one around. Gets a 2 count. Ooh, we almost had a new United States champion there. I have such a hard time not calling him Ricky Starks. It's amazing. Nobody home, and now the champion has a chance to turn this thing back around. Well, that didn't last long. To the ropes. Williams back out front, got caught, and Ricky Saint drives him into the canvas. Shoulder block, down he goes. Boy, he was a bloody mess, man. Look at the side. Oh, what a move. United States champion having a lot of trouble all of a sudden. And Ricky Saint looks like he's not winning the match, but he is at the moment. If we go to the scorecards right now, Ricky's going to have the advantage. And another clothesline, sending him crashing to the floor. And they both wipe out. I like that blood spatter. It's a little bit different than I'm used to seeing. By the way, 2K, any reason why we don't have a table in the Korean arenas? So in the Korean arena, you still don't have a belt that you can pick up and use as a weapon. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Uh-oh. Trick Williams with the payback. This one's turning out to be a decent match. And looking at our poll, it appears to be 100% saying Trick Williams. We're going to close the poll at this time. That's more than enough time to cast your votes. I think EA is going to be a little special on this one. Got a feeling they're going to give it to old Ricky here, the way things are going. Tornado DDT, and the champion is down. Hooks the leg. Referee counts 1, 2, and 3. What did I say? I could feel it. I could feel it like Phil Collins. I can feel it calling in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. Let the bullshit chants ring out. Looking back at the last time we did the predictions, it was WrestleMania. I finished with a 79% accuracy over both days 1 and 2. EA finished 64%. I don't think it's going to even hit 64% on this show the rate it's going right now. I don't even know. Well, it can't do 50%. Okay. Oh, you got 6 matches. Yeah, it could do a 50%. But it's going to have to get things going.
Making his way to the ring,
Represent.
From Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 250 pounds, Braun Breaker.
All right. Your chance to vote is live. I'm going to say it right now. Braun Breaker has to win. Has to win. But granted, with his injury run, I don't know. Do you really want to put a big rocket behind this guy just so he's hurt tomorrow night? Somebody got to talk to him about adjusting stuff in his repertoire because, gosh almighty, you know, he's missed WrestleMania, if you don't want to count the run-in. He missed some other major event. He just keeps getting hurt a lot. But I will say this. The one thing I always bitch about, if I already know the outcome to the match, there's no point in watching it. I am not for sure who's winning this match. I know who needs to win it. I know who I would book to win it. But then there's that friggin' genius writing team in the WWE that likes to do shit that is stupid. So far, 67% of the nation says Braun Breaker gets the win. Those of you just getting in the door, let us know who you're going to get to have the win in this match tonight. Who are you picking? The next season DLC doesn't come out till I think it's July 22nd. I didn't think it was that late in the month, but all right. Still waiting on the WrestleMania pack that everyone thought was going to be out like weeks ago. Still hasn't come out. As the cage falls into place. And Bron Breakker wasting no time at all going to the family heirloom, the belly-to-belly suplex. Crowd is still chanting Seth's song. Must be in England. Caught him with a knee, I think, on that one. Oh, he wants the door open. Look at this. Referee forgot how to open a door. Never mind. Bron Breakker thought he was going to slide out that door real quick. And I think he wins tonight, and it might be one of those things where the cage wall breaks or something like that, and he falls to the floor. I don't know that it's going to be a clean win. And lately, WWE kind of changes their rules to the cage. I mean, they were always the company where the way to win the cage matches, escape the cage, and both feet hit the floor. But then in more recent matches, I've seen it, that's an option, but so is a pinfall or a submission. So if it's escape only, then I feel better about Bron's chances of being on the winning side with some sort of shenanigan. He'll go for a spear. Rollins will sidestep it, and he'll go crashing through the wall and out to the floor. So this way Rollins doesn't lose anything. And Bron's going to give himself a concussion anyway. Might as well do it for the finish. This Friday, 7 o'clock p.m., make sure you're here for the last Great American Bash here on the Nation Network. 4 Horsemen will be in action going up against the Road Warriors, Lex Luger and the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes in the War Games. Swing and a miss. Uh-oh. Boom! Off the ropes like a rocket ship. He caught him with that shoulder block. Might have been a partial clothesline involved. Spear! Down he goes. Hooks the leg. Will that be enough? Ooh, kicks out on one. Tiffany, let that be a rule to you. Again, calling for the door. Referee once again forgets how to open a door. See, that's another one of the things about the game that I'm not a big fan of. The Sting Buster. If you go to the door, just open the damn door. Let the mini game be the thing that delays. The same way you have with the belt hanging above the ring. Just because you have your hand on the belt doesn't mean you're getting the belt. Like right now, that door should be open and the mini game should be going in. We're not even getting the mini game at all. That's kind of sucking. I like the fact that he's going for the door, though, and not trying to climb the cage. I almost feel like that should be an option in the player settings. So like an Andre the Giant is only going to go through the door. He's never going to go over the top. As we close the poll, 67% of the nation says Bron Breakker goes over tonight. Let's see what EA wishful thinking, 2K has to say. And by the way, there are some rumblings starting finally that suggest EA is going to take over the franchise. Not for obviously 27, but for 28. And those people cite the fact that we already know TKO likes to keep everything in-house under one umbrella. EA has the UFC game, which has nobody complaining about it, really. Nothing like this. Bron Breakker is over the... Uh-oh. Well, looks like we're all going to go with Bron Breakker on this one. There is your winner. But it does appear that EA has a legitimate shot at being given the contract after 27. Bron Breakker gets the victory. All right, this is to determine the women's King of the Ring, or Queen of the Ring. And this is going to be a tough one. Not going to lie. And again, that's what I like about it, is I don't know who's winning this match. I got a pretty good idea is what I want to say. But I'm going with EO. EO is my pick. But I think it's going to be Liv. And for the same logic, I think EO needs it. Liv already has a belt. And if nothing else, this would just set up the feud between her and Liv for the title. By the way, it would be also nice in the next patch, not next patch, but the next DLC, if they could add the updated Liv song. You don't have to change the entrance at all. Just add the song. All right, there's the poll, ladies and gentlemen. Who you think going to win this one tonight? I feel like I'm throwing this away, but I'm sticking with it. I am thankful, though, that we have the 200 created wrestler slots this year, because that allowed me to make alt attires for a lot of these characters that had outdated attires. And I can say outdated at the same time. She's wearing an outfit from 2 seasons ago. It's still better than what they have her in the game wearing. Off the top rope, nice drop kick right there by EO. Wonder if we could see like the return of Asuka tonight, come out and help her win the match or something like that. I do think that Asuka will be back by SummerSlam. I'd be a little surprised if she wasn't. Problem with these events taking place overseas is you stand out more. So we talked about the tag team division earlier. Well, a lot of the talk has been that Enzo and Cass have been re-signed and that they'll be doing their shtick again and coming back in to help bolster the tag team division. Well, imagine if there was a tag team match in this show and they were going to have them appear and either as a special opponent or surprise opponent, or just come out of the crowd and start beating the crap out of one of the other teams. How do you keep Cass a secret? In England, of all places. You'd have a better chance of discreetly moving a Scud missile in front of Big Ben. Morgan trying to pull one out of the hat here, but that's not happening. So far, we've got 100% back in EO. The rest of you guys, come on, man, get in here and do some voting. And make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget. EO tied up in the ropes. I think she was supposed to have her arm draped over the rope and looks like TKO, 2K, whatever. Didn't get it done right. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Going after the leg now on Miss Liv. Charging into the corner, nobody home. Onto the apron. Springboard drop kick caught her. Ooh, that's dangerous. Liv is getting knocked from pillar to post by Io Sky. She wants to be the queen. She wants to have that main event spotlight at SummerSlam. There's another knee to the head. Liv's had her marbles rocked as Io continues to punish her here ringside. Morgan just running into the flying drop kick that time, and finally a code breaker. And Io got busted open with that one. As we close the bowl, everyone says Io gets the win tonight. All the more reason for me to think it'll be Liv. There's the moonsault, and it connects. That's got to be a go for the cover. That hesitation, will it matter? She's going to SummerSlam. Night of Champions is on now? Dude, I thought that was supposed to be 1 o'clock in the afternoon is what I had seen. We're not even at noon. How is that? Everything I saw said 1 o'clock. Oh, well. I wasn't planning on watching it anyway. I was just going to have it on as background noise and glance over once in a while, so not too worried about it. The only way I watch it nowadays is to do those little highlight recaps. And even then, I haven't done that in probably 2 weeks. All right, moving on to the King of the Ring. Here's another one of these. Here's the poll. And here's another one of these things where if they don't get this right, I got a feeling they're going to push Jay again, which nobody wants Jay in a main event, period. He's just not that guy. This is a project that has been attempted before and it has not done well. And Oba is clearly the guy that should be getting the win tonight. I'm saying it's Oba, but I think they're going to give it to Jay. But that's my pick. Somebody turn on the damn lights.
And his opponent from Lagos, Nigeria, weighing in at 310 pounds, Oba
Yo, Masters, I'm looking right now, and it says Night of Champions card begins at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I'm not sure what you're watching. There's a countdown show, but that's not the same thing, man. You got to get that right. It's not on right now. It's not on until 1 o'clock. And for my money, this is more entertaining than the countdown show. Last thing I need is 2 hours of Riyadh. 2 extra hours. Once again, I'm going to go with Oba for the win, but I got a feeling they're going to freaking give it to Jay. Big clothesline down. Oba going to the top rope. Big man looking to make a big splash. I got to admit, Oba's growing on me. He does a good job with the microphone. And I always like the guys that just look like they should be a world champion, because who the hell's going to beat this guy's ass? Look at him. As opposed to that little gay boy in Evolve that probably couldn't kick the ass of one guy in that locker room. Not one. Probably couldn't kick the ass of half the girls. Oh, I would have loved to see him throw him over the top rope. For a moment there. Here's a 2 count. The winner to go on to headline SummerSlam. To go up against either Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, or Gunther, whoever the champion may be. And we'll know the answer to that in just a moment. Something else I saw about a week ago that showed up in my timeline was the spot where Chad Gable came out to apologize to American Made. And Maxine kind of stepped in and said no. And I kind of thought that wasn't a bad spot. I thought that was actually one of the few things. I mean, they're going to screw it up. But as far as a launching pad to what could be something, I thought that wasn't bad. Shot blocked from behind. About the only chance Jay's going to have is if he can take out a leg. Caught him with a spear off the ropes. Look at Oba. Right back up. Man, took 7 F5s before he stayed down. You think that spear is going to do nothing to him? Pop-up neck breaker. Uso to the top rope. Connects with the splash. Oh, I thought he was going to hook a leg. Now he does. Nice view of the referee's ass. Going to go for it again. Oh, I thought Oba was going to bring up the knees. Oh, he kicks out again. Oba says no, 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 no. Come on, Oba, get up and do something. What does this friggin' jobber take you down? You're supposed to be the next thing. The next big thing, part 2. Finally gets a right hand in. And now, is it time for Oba to start handing out some? Military press overhead. Oh, into a double knee gut buster. There we go. That's more like it. Pop up has him by the goozle. Choke slam. Will that be enough? Referee slides there for the count of 1. There's 2 and almost. As 100% of the nation voting in lockstep saying Oba will win tonight. Oh! Helicopter. Just launching Jay into the air with that helicopter spin. Off the ropes, dropped down by Uso. Back out front, leapfrog by Uso. Comes up, caught him in a Samoan drop. Shades of Afantsika. Going up to the top rope one more time. Elbow this time. Goes right to the cover. And the shoulder is up again. Oba Femi says, I don't think so. You're going to have to kill me. A raucous crowd on hand, and he comes down with another splash. How many of these can you expect the man to take? Apparently 3 was the answer. TKO siding with what I would imagine is going to be the WWE.
The following is a triple threat match and is
This is your main event of the evening.
WWE Championship.
And once again, what makes a good match is when you don't know who the winner's going to be. I know who the winner's not going to be. It's not going to be Sami Zayn. Matter of fact, I'm almost positive Sami Zayn is going to be the one getting pinned or submitted, possibly. Even though he is the last good guy. But I feel like Cody is the champion going into SummerSlam. Might lose it at SummerSlam. But my pick is going to be Cody Rhodes. The poll is open. Who do you want for the main event? Who do you think is going to get it done? Will it be the American Nightmare? Will it be Sami Zayn or will it be the Ring General Gunther? I almost feel like Gunther also needs this win. But I'm still going to stick with Cody. Man still draws a pop. But I do think that the time is coming near where it might be time for someone else. At least for a while. I can see him getting it back. Just the fact that he went from dashing Cody Rhodes to Stardust and then left the company for, 8 years? And then comes back and is in the main event picture all the time and becomes the world champion on his own. There is your WWE Heavyweight Champion. And so far in the poll, it is 100% behind Cody Rhodes. I'm a little surprised. I thought we might have a little bit of a split in the decision there, but poll's going to stay open for a little bit longer. If you're watching, take a second, click the button. It doesn't cost anything. Today only, it's free. As we all know, in a triple threat match or a three-way dance, however you want to look at it, the champion does not have to be pinned or made to submit in order to lose the title. I do believe IRL, it is going to be Sami Zayn taking the fall. Nice side slam there by Cody. Oh, look at Gunther just throwing the champion across the ring like a bag of potatoes. Gunther getting a look at that championship title. He's got a baseball bat. It's legal in this one. Ooh, swing and a miss. Should play for the Mets. And now Gunther unloading on both of his opponents. There's a history between these two guys, no doubt about it. And I think Gunther might just be happier getting a pin or submission over Sami than he would be the champion himself because of that history. Sami Zayn dethroned Gunther as the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, and it's something that I believe still sticks in his craw. Throws the bat at Cody and then takes the head of Sami Zayn off with a clothesline. Cody wants him up. Uh-oh. Sami says one way or another, I'm getting my hands on that belt tonight. TDT's Cody on the title. 100% legitimate move. Blue Thunder Bomb down on top of the baseball bat. Now Cody. Drives that knee into the head. Now Sami Zayn busts him open, and Sami is hemorrhaging from the left eye area. Talk about the hard way. Gunther has him on that middle rope. What's he going to do with him? Oh, stretching him out. Sami is down and in trouble. Meantime, now Cody using the belt. Sometimes you wear them to hold your pants up, other times to show that you're a champion, and sometimes to get the victory. And Gunther's a bloody mess, and Sami able to get back in time to make the save. This match would have been over after the Crossroads. Gunther very slowly getting back up. 2 out of 3 of these guys been busted open already. And the champion now goes for the cover, hooks the leg. And good thing he kicked out because Gunther was nowhere near getting back into the ring in time to make the save. Sami's hemorrhaging, as is Gunther. Ring General with a clothesline. And the champion is slowly back up to his feet. Gets caught with that running drop kick. The Helluva kick to the ring general. He's down, and Cody's on the floor. Nowhere to make the save. And Gunther gets a shoulder up. Leave it to 2K to book a Sammy win. As we close the polls for the night, 100% of us say Cody Rhodes retains. Series of right hands, and Cody's down the corner, and now Sammy, the last nice guy, using the baseball bat on the champion. If you're a nice guy, you might do that. Face first. Taking a page out of the book of Arn Anderson, a man who used to manage Cody. The gourd buster down on top of that baseball bat. And Cody is ignoring Gunther and continuing to work over Sami Zayn. Has him up on the shoulders. Sammy's got the champion into a sitting. Oh! Sit out powerbomb, but Gunther caught him with the championship title. And now it's the Ring General and the American Nightmare. Heavy chops to the chest. Cody's down. Foot is under the bottom rope, but it does not matter in this one. There are no rope breaks. There's no disqualifications. There's no countouts, pinfall, or submission. First man to achieve it will be the winner and the World WWE Champion. Look at this, an unlikely teaming as Gunther and Cody double team momentarily on Sami Zayn. Oh, he got caught. Crossroads. Gunther down. Sammy is out. And here's the referee for the count of one. He kicked out on one. Shut up. And now Sammy back in. Lucky there's still a match to come back to. Cody had him up. Might have been trying to go for that gourd buster again, but Sammy slips out the back. You can see the blood-stained canvas from the punishment taking place in this one. There's the power bomb. Gunther looking to pin Sami Zayn, and he got 2.5. Cody with a forearm shiver. And the champion has got himself a kendo stick. Not able to use it. Gunther up into the corkscrew neck breaker. And now Cody butterfly in the arms. Pedigree on Sami Zayn, and the referee way out of position. Gunther getting back to his feet. There's 1, there's 2, and 3. Gunther wasn't able to get there. He was off by about a half a second. And everybody says Cody Rhodes will win tonight. Even 2K. Well, that happened. Will it happen today? I got a pretty good feeling it will, but I can see Gunther getting it. I mean, adding Sammy to the mix puts that doubt in there. If it was just Cody and Gunther, I would feel more confident that Cody's keeping it. But by adding a fall guy, because that's all Sammy's going to be, is the fall guy. So we'll see how it all turns out. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for stopping by and hanging out for the first episode of The Chat. As I said earlier on in the stream, if you weren't here for it, the Wrestle Chat, the idea and the concept still goes on with this, but We're going to be doing wrestling, other sports, pop culture stuff. A lot of things will be on the table for discussion, not just wrestling. And a big part of the reason for that is today's wrestling is just not that good. Calling it like it is. Balls and strikes down the middle. It's just not that good. All righty. Well, you know the drill by now, I'm sure. Find time each and every day to say the two magic words, and you know what they are.
Okay! Game on! 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 Yeah, game on!
But the night's so wild, you're sitting here like a reckless child. Our keep buzzing electric fire, chasing scores higher, higher, higher.